All right, where are all my teenagers at? Where are my teenagers at? Parents, if you're watching this, go get your teenagers. Go get your teenagers. I need your teenagers to listen to this. Attention, teenagers. Listen, listen, listen. Hello, teenagers. Where are you? Hey, this is for the teens out there.
This struggle got purpose and we grow. So whatever road we have to take next, all I need to know is that we'll roll with the punches.
Oh, yo. Fam. Midwest Anxiety fam. Oh, we're in the summer Jeep today. And, y'all, the summer reminds me, noisy truck. No, it doesn't remind me of a noisy truck. Summer reminds me of something. It reminds me that therapy can be fun, right? Summer, it's all about having fun, relaxation, going on vacation and doing all that stuff. And I just think sometimes therapy gets a bad rap. Sometimes it's all serious and really tight, and we're just we talk about the struggles and all that. But hey, there's a lot of stuff in life that needs to be celebrated, that needs to be appreciated, that we need to be grateful that we just get to live a full experience in life. There's lots of things in life that aren't so dark, that are lighter, and we're just riding in the summer Jeep. Riding in JB just reminds me of that, and so we're going to talk about that today, y'all. We're going to talk about how therapy, you've got to figure out what works for you. We do it the MWA thing. Where we go and we just do things in the community, knock on your door, homework, school, wherever you live, work, and play. But we're going to talk about today how therapy is about the full experience. It's about the full experience. We're not just talking about anxiety and depression and sadness and irritability and financial trouble and all the relation trouble and all that stuff that we talk about. We also got to talk about all the awesome stuff that happens in life and celebrate the good things too, because at Midwest Anxiety, we focus not only as much on the struggles, but also of the things in your life that make you awesome and the things that you enjoy. So let's get into it today, y'all. And you guys sit back, put on your seatbelt, and enjoy this ride around being a community-based therapist today, y'all. All right, y'all. Feels like summer, y'all. Feels like summer. Hey, let's talk about therapy. And this is going to be when you talk about therapy, I don't know about you, but it seems for a lot of people, it's a negative conversation. We are not. Let me tell you, we are around here at Midwest Anxiety. We never think of therapy as a bad thing. We don't think of it as a bad thing. If you're in therapy, big thumbs up to you. If I had it my way, and of course, I'm probably biased in this. I am biased. If I had my way, this would be something that, as you were born, they'd be like, okay, for a lifetime, you get therapy. You get therapy for a lifetime. When you were born, like life just wasn't handed to you, given to you. There was no manual, right? And therapy is about finding ways to let out the negative and bring in the positive, and developing skills to use when you're struggling, and at the same time finding ways just to squeeze the most out of this life. Find the goodness in life. Find all the goodness and squeeze all the goodness out of it. And y'all, we do therapy one way, but guess what? The good thing for you is you may like our way, you may like the MWA thing, or you may like something else. You may like a therapist who may be a little bit more, got a collar and an office and, that type of therapy. Hey, there are all kinds of therapies out there and they're great. Okay? You just got to find the one that works for you. You got to find the one that works for you. And that's what I would say in all this when I'm talking to people. Before you get into the meat and potatoes of what you're coming to therapy for, before you're getting into that, make sure it's a good fit. Make sure that you and your therapist are a good fit. You just feel comfortable and safe and secure to talk to your therapist, and then your therapist's approach, it seems to be the right approach for you. At Midwest Anxiety, we are very behavioral. We are very active, right? And so we're not in an office. We're out. We're in the community. We're at parks. We're all over the place. We do work with you on the cognitive part, which is just helping you be able to understand and be self-aware of your thoughts, and then how, if those thoughts aren't serving you in a positive way, how you can change those thoughts, right? And then we're behavioral. We're out in the community. We're out at ball fields helping people that may be struggling with finding the confidence on the ball field. We're in front of elevators if you're anxious in an elevator. We're in homes helping parents and kids work out all those struggles that they have, and sometimes right in the moment. So here's my thing about therapy, y'all. I think it's awesome. I've been in therapy myself. I don't think it's a bad thing. You just got to figure out what works for you. You got to find your fit. And then just be able to work through things. Be able to find those skills to be able to get through life, y'all. Not all therapy has to be the same. We don't all have to be the same. The cool thing about it is, there are 8 billion people in this world, and we're all unique in our own ways. And the cool thing is that therapists need to find a way to be able to match whatever it is that people are desiring and wanting. All right, y'all? So if you haven't found that fit, I hear people all the time, they'll call me, they'll talk to me, and they'll tell me, yeah, Randy, we've been in therapy for years, 6, 7, 8 therapists, right? And I say, you just got to keep trying. I know it's difficult, I know it's challenging, but there's a therapist out there. There's a therapist out there for everyone. There's a therapist. You just got to figure it out. You just got to keep trying. My thought to you is, what I tell people, don't feel like you have to spill your beans. Don't feel like you got to talk about everything in your life. Don't feel like you have to talk about those challenging, difficult things. Figure out if the therapist is a good fit first. All right, y'all? All right. Okay, it's time for what's been coming up in client sessions. All right, where are all my teenagers at? Parents, if you're watching this, go get your teenagers. I need your teenagers to listen to this. Attention, teenagers. Listen. Hello, teenagers, where are you? Hey, this is for the teens out there. Hey, you may be just totally upset with mom and dad right now. They're making rules that you don't like. You're thinking, I don't need to go to bed at midnight. I don't need them to turn off the internet. They don't need to turn on my phone. Why are they just being like this? Why are they being mean, mom and dad? I totally get it. And teens, I don't want to lose you on this. Talk with moms and dads and teenagers all day, every day. This is such a common conversation that we have. And I want you moms and dads to listen to this. And I want the teenagers. Y'all, I totally get it. And here's the thing. when we're looking at kind of these house rules and these expectations and all that, like when you get to be a teenager, right? Developmentally, you're getting to a time and a place in your life where you're having to start to make decisions for yourself. I mean, some of you are going to work. You're going to work without mom and dad. You're having to make decisions at work without mom and dad. You're driving, right? You're driving. You have to make big boy and big girl decisions while driving, right? You're going to school. There's lots of things that you're doing. You're making choices. You're doing things on your own. You're making decisions for yourself. And mom and dad are involved in it. I get it. And then when you come home, it's like mom and dad they want to rule. They want to take over. Here's the thing. There are certain things, and I always ask mom and dad, this is the caveat. I always ask mom and dad to be reasonable in what they're asking, what they're expecting, okay? If mom and dad are being reasonable, what this comes down to is just your mom and dad their role as a mom and dad is the authority in the house, right? Oh my gosh, I'm losing some of you teenagers right now. I'm losing you because you heard this before. When you're in my house, or when you're living under my roof, or when you're on my payroll, you do as I say, not as I do, right? You know that mom and dad are in charge. But here's the reality. We all have authority figures in our lives. We all have authority figures. And I think part of being a teenager is learning, okay, even when you don't agree, and you think your mom and dad are making an awful decision, the learning in this is being able to work with authority, is to be able to say to yourself and say to the authority, all right, I understand, I respect your decision. Because you're going to have authority. We all have authority in our life for the rest of our life. And I think a big part of this, part of it is being able to respectfully be able to advocate for yourself. I think parents, you got to listen to your children if they're being respectful. Okay, parents, if your teenagers are being respectful and they're not calling you names, they're not being derogatory, they're not doing all that stuff, then it's healthy. It's healthy for them to advocate for themselves. All right, but when mom and dad make a decision and it goes against whatever you believe or whatever you think, okay, that's the time that you have to respect mom and dad as your authority, all right? And you're going to have to accept whatever decision they're making, all right? So for me, when I'm in therapy with mom and dad and teenagers, I'm not trying to figure out who's right, who's wrong. I'm trying to figure out how you can come together and agree together to work through whatever it is. And I work with the teenagers, and I'm like, hey, what do you want to get out of this? What do you want to get out of this? And I also work with them and talk to them about how mom and dad's the authority, right? Mom and dad's the authority, and that's part of their role as mom and dad. When you get off their payroll, when you turn 18, or when you move out of their house and whatever, you get to make your decisions then. But until then, you're going to have to respect what mom and dad are deciding. And that's probably like 10, 15, 20% of your overall day-to-day life. I'm sure that you get to decide a majority of what goes on in your day-to-day life. Mom and dad probably just have a small percentage of it. And then for moms and dads, I want them to be reasonable in their expectations, and then be proud of their children. Just know that their teenagers are trying to develop, and they're trying to grow up, and they're trying to make decisions, and they're being pulled and pushed in lots of different ways. And just listen to your children, listen to your teenagers, and when you feel like it's necessary, make that decision that may go against whatever they're thinking or asking. But when it seems reasonable, go ahead and understand and go with them. All right, moms, dads, teenagers, you guys are going to be the ones that decide on Thanksgiving, on Easter, on holidays, on birthdays. How tight is your relationship? How tight is your relationship? How connected are you? That's the most important part, I believe, in children and parents' relationships. Some of this is, parents are responsible to help their children learn kind of the rules of the road and all that. I understand. We can get in on all that, but the connection, because your family is there for life, and I want you to enjoy your family as much as you can. All right, y'all? All right, let's get along. Let's listen to each other, and let's respect each other also. All right. Thanks for watching today.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup.